what actually creates change, why small, sustainable habits work. Last week, we explored why New Year's resolutions so often fail, not because people lack discipline, but because they try to force change instead of creating the conditions that allow it. This week, the natural question becomes, if trying harder isn't the answer, what actually works? The answer is quieter, gentler and kinder than most people expect. Real, sustained personal change rarely relies upon motivation or intensity. It begins with small, steady habits that respect how the nervous system functions in real life. First key thing I want to go over, so why do big personal goals usually backfire? Big goals often sound inspiring, but to a tired or stressed nervous system, they can feel overwhelming. When a goal feels vague, demanding, or far away, the brain often responds with avoidance or procrastination. This isn't laziness, it's protection. The brain is designed to conserve energy and reduce uncertainty. When change feels like too much, it defaults to what is familiar, even if what is familiar isn't working well. This is why people can sincerely want something different and still find themselves repeating the same patterns. The system isn't broken. It's cautious. This doesn't mean that we only have small goals. It means that we understand how motivation is sustained and use the law of incremental growth to get there. Number 2. Why is it that motivation rarely comes first? Despite setting goals, many adults then wait to feel motivated before they take action. That's understandable, but it rarely works. Setting the goal does not automatically turn on the motivation machine. Motivation is not the starting point, it's the result. When the nervous system is tired, overloaded, or stretched thin, motivation becomes unreliable, no matter how strong the intention. What helps most is not pushing harder, but making life feel more manageable. Better rest, simpler routines, and small moments of pause can make a noticeable difference. As the system settles, energy returns. Thinking becomes clearer. Action feels less effortful. Motivation begins to show up, not because it was demanded, but because the tank is no longer empty. This is why change that feels supportive tends to last, while change driven by pressure usually fades. Choose those habits that start to feel sustaining now, and let the big changes emerge as the healthy habits grow. Number 3, this is a key point. Habits tend to control attention, which then dictates the habit. You see, most days, attention gets pulled without much thought to worries, headlines, unfinished tasks, or what's going wrong. Whatever holds attention longest quietly sets the emotional tone of the day. Small habits matter because they give attention somewhere else to land. A brief pause in the morning before reaching for a phone, a short walk where you intentionally notice something steady or pleasant, a simple evening routine that signals the day is winding down. These are not self-help tricks. They are ways of gently redirecting attention so the nervous system can settle. Over time, what you repeatedly attend to becomes familiar, and what becomes familiar starts to feel normal. This is how habits slowly shape mood and outlook. Attention really does work like water, but habits determine where it flows. Let's cover this as well. How to design habits that actually stick. Habits stick when they are small, clear, and easy to repeat. Not impressive, not too ambitious, just doable. The goal isn't to overhaul your life, it's to create a starting point that doesn't trigger resistance. Instead of exercise more, try stretching for 2 minutes after brushing your teeth. Instead of be less stressed, step outside for fresh air once in the afternoon. Take 3 slow breaths before getting into bed. These aren't compromises, they're realistic entry points. A good habit should work even on a hard day. If it only feels possible when you're well-rested, calm, and motivated, it won't survive January or February. The habits that last are the ones you can still do when you're tired, distracted, or discouraged. Now, you can build on these, of course, with adding more after a few weeks. This is how big goals are met. But please remember to start in a way that works, not in a manner meant to impress anyone. Consider this as well. you can gain progress without beating yourself up. You see, missing a day doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. The real problem isn't falling off a habit. It's what happens next. When people respond with self-criticism, they often stop altogether. A better response is simple curiosity. What got in the way? Was the habit too big? Was the timing off? What would make it easier tomorrow? This keeps the brain engaged rather than defensive. Habits don't need perfection to work. They need flexibility and a willingness to keep going. So, where to get support when habits feel hard to sustain? For some people, building and maintaining small habits is something they can do on their own. For others, especially those dealing with chronic stress, anxiety, depression, or trauma, additional support can make the difference between knowing what to do and being able to follow through. In my clinical work, I've seen how brain-based approaches, including neurofeedback, can help stabilize the nervous system so that healthy habits are not just chosen but sustained. When the brain is more regulated, change feels less like a battle and more like a natural progression. I share educational resources and clinical perspectives on this work at drandicale.com. And lastly, understand that change is built, not declared. Lasting change is rarely announced with enthusiasm. It's built quietly through repetition, patience, and respect for human limits. The people who make meaningful shifts aren't those who demand the most from themselves, but those who create conditions that make follow-through possible. As the year unfolds, consider focusing less on goals and more on support of your mind and body. What helps you feel steadier? What small habits make life slightly easier? What deserves your attention if you want a different emotional tone to your days? What small changes in diet, movement, or sleep will surely leave me healthier and stronger next month and the month after? That's not just a New Year's resolution. It's a sustainable way forward.